Hey guys, welcome back to Create Arcane Engineering, where I have built perhaps the most Rube Goldbergy thing I have ever done in Minecraft. Let's take a look. We are out here. Why is there redstone? I just spotted redstone floating on the ground over there. Hmm. Are you hiccuping somehow? Okay. Well, let's get back to what we were doing there. So this is our Skystone, and I chose to actually automate Skystone all the way to Redstone over here at this location, and I'll just bring by the train, which we have not yet built. I'll bring by the train to actually pick up our Redstone. But let's take a look at what we've got going on. So we've got a full 11 by 11 drills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 11 by 11 drills, because that is the maximum that the catalyst builds out. It builds out a max in 5 in each direction. So this harvester, this mine drill head thing, contraption, is perfectly capable of harvesting every bit of the skystone that gets created around the catalyst. And that is important because that maximizes efficiency, right? Now, I originally had multiple deployers back here with the redstone so that it would get more. You'll see that this is not, it's not full, right? There are lots of open holes here. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I might, if we start falling behind on the Skystone itself, I might come back in here and put another deployer or two on here. I've just got this. It's on a simple bounce, right? So it goes down. You got powered rail through there. It goes down. It comes up here. It just bounces off the cobblestone here at the end and goes all the way back. Yeah, we are getting redstone spit out on the tracks here. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. That's not cool. What are you doing? Are you deploying into the air? Because that would seriously not be cool. Let's see if there's another one laying there now. No. I'll have to figure out what that is. We don't want a loss, because eventually that'll just sit there and despawn, right? We don't want a loss of redstone. Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, so once he has finally managed to tear through all of this, get all the way down there and come back, he will come here, and he will hook up to his portable storage right there. And thus begins the Rube Goldbergy of all Rube Goldbergy sorts of things I've ever done. So we've got a smart chute here. Yeah, I can pull this out at this particular moment. We got a smart chute here that is just grabbing, making sure that we don't pull our redstone out of the machine, right? We don't want to pull, we need to leave the redstone in there. So the redstone is being left in the boxes. And what that means is the skystone is free to come down here to this chest. And thus we start into the more complicated side of things. This could have been made much smaller. I am 100% sure this could have been made much, much smaller, but let's take a look at what I actually did. So we've got, and I know this mod pack is called Create Arcane Engineering. From my point of view, it probably should have been called, I don't know, drawer automation or something, because you will see that I have drawers everywhere. And the reason I have drawers everywhere is that I am using the drawers and the drawer controllers to push things wirelessly, quote unquote, from one location to the next in this whole chain. So let's take a look at it. Pulling out of the chest into the drawer, and the drawer is then pushing straight back into our millstone, which is just taking our skystone and crunching it up into dust. And then the dust is being pulled over here into this drawer here, right? And then this drawer is taking that dust and pushing it right over here into the basin where we have our water coming in. Water's just and I've got some magma blocks under here just because we are in an icy biome, and I didn't want to take the chance of one of these water sources freezing up and stopping our contraption from running, right? That simply would not have been cool. So there's some magma blocks there. We got those down in the world somewhere. I don't know. I think we've got a couple of stacks of them back at the house. But anyway, so this is just pulling water up from our, now these are just cogs that I've dropped a brass casing around. You can, do I have anything that doesn't yet have casing around it? Probably not, because I like doing the casing around things. But Oh, here's one. Bloop. So we can just put a casing around that, right? Now I don't have to look at that shaft sitting there doing nothing, essentially. I need to put dirt in here. And I left the dirt out of here so that we would remember that there are a line of encased drives going out here. That's how we're pushing power out to our millstones. Bloop, but we have now seen that. So, from the basin, we have a smart fluid pipe that is set to only pull out the Skystone solution, right? Whatever that stuff is called. It is volatile sky solution. So it will only pull that out, and that is getting pushed straight over here to our fluid, to our spout, right? So the spout is set to dump onto our seeds. Our seeds are coming down, then they're getting sand on them, and we've got a drawer of sand up here, and then they're coming down here and being sorted. Now, I had issues with the seed. If the seed fails to make a cluster right here, if I put this drawer first, like I was going to go, hey, just pull off the ones that failed, it would pick up both the clusters. It would pick up both the incomplete or the failed seeds and the clusters. And I never could get that sorted. Even when I stuck in filters and all kinds of other stuff, it simply would not do it. It would pick up both every time. So this is a little jankier and longer because I had to put the clusters first. I would much rather have had the clusters at the end. It would have reduced some of the automation we needed to do. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. But I did have to do that. So I've got the clusters coming off the belt here. If they are successful, see if we can see one get picked up. There was one getting picked up. It'll get picked up by this drawer. This drawer just pushes down into the one beneath it so that we could lower the level by one. Yes, there are better ways to do that. That would not have been drawer automation, but that is what I did there. And then those are just spitting directly out onto this belt, and there is an encased fan and lava directly. Ooh, I really don't want to get burned there. There's an encased fan and lava right there. That is the wrong part of that I picked up. Be interesting to see where that dirt went, though, since it doesn't appear that I picked up the actual dirt. Huh, interesting. Anyway, so that actually turns that into redstone, right? So the redstone comes here and then gets immediately pushed into a drawer. Now this drawer is pushing straight across. And I actually built some gold upgrades to go in here. Am I ever going to have 130 million over here? Probably not. But I didn't want to lose redstone, so I did spend some of our gold to get the upgrades that are in here. This one is, so we're coming out of this machine and just going straight over here, right? And if I recall correctly, he's pushing west, pushing up and west, because we need redstone in a couple of different places, right? So we're pushing redstone directly onto the depot, which is getting redstone poured over it to create the rose quartz. Rose quartz drawer is just pulling from that direction, and it's got a downgrade on it, so it can only hold 64. When I originally put this together, I didn't have some of these downgrades in here, and I was never getting a backlog of redstone. We were not making any, quote, new redstone, right? Everything was getting fed through the system, and I came over here and had, you know, like, well, there are 2,000 seeds sitting here right now, right? So I'm still trying to clear the backlog of seeds that I had made. Yeah, that happened. Now, the reality is at this point, this is never going to clear because I've now got a feeder chest sitting up here. That's what's coming from here. So let's just keep walking through where we're at. Rose quartz is here. It pushes into the millstone. Millstone makes redstone seeds. Pushes into here, which pushes into the drawer controller to push up here. Now, I set this up because the brass funnel pulling out here and the drawer controller down here. So here are our failed ones, right? These are the ones that failed to make the cluster and therefore we're left with a seed. Pushing down into this drawer controller pushing into this drawer is faster than this drawer pushing into this drawer. So that keeps the belt cleared, but we should not make any new clusters, or we should not make any new seeds unless and until we actually get some successful seeds going through. But what that's going to mean is there's always going to be 2,000 here. There's always going to be 64 up here. There's always going to be 64 over here. Could I have put a a downgrade in here. Yeah, I could have broken this chest off or this drawer off and let this completely clear out and then put a downgrade on him and stuck that drawer back up there. You can actually put a downgrade on this drawer right now, but the interface will change. It will actually say there are only 64 in there right now, and obviously I then could not push the failed seeds back down there, right? It would be well over its maximum, and I don't exactly know what would happen if I did that, so I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I left it there. So 2,000 plus 128 is all the seeds we should ever have. All right, so coming out of there, we push down through here. We've already seen this. It comes down, blam, 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 blam. Now, I think that actually takes care of everything on the, hey, here's redstone, making the clusters, making the seeds being processed to either make new clusters or getting rejected and sent back. For our power, I did use, we've got, I think there's 6, 10, there are 6 here, 10, 14. Yeah, there are 14 windmills here, and they're just the exact same thing we got over at the base, except that they're pointing up instead of pointing down. That's literally the only difference. And I did sacrifice one of our Starbuncle wheels here just to provide a whole bunch of speed to this whole system, which is why this is taking 14 windmills, right? Because we are, with cranking this all the way up to that speed, we are putting a lot of stress on the system, because we're also running these 2 sets of crushing wheels. So that is cobblestone at the top, and I am still manually, so what I'm doing is when this thing runs out, I will take this drawer back over to our base and fill it back up with cobblestone. I've only had to do that once, and we've got quite a bit of sand over here. Yeah, we still got 14k sand in here. And then the excess, those things, the flint and the clay that's getting made are just being pushed into a couple of drawers here. So that's really just excess things that are being created. I think, yeah, I even put void upgrades in these 2 drawers, because really what we're after here is the sand to keep this contraption running. If we really need to farm either flint or clay at some point, we can always set up another automation somewhere to do that. All right, so that takes care of what's going on in here. And obviously a whole bunch of this piping and stuff, a whole bunch of what you're seeing down here is really just a matter of getting, wonder how fast, or at 86%, it's really just a matter of getting power moved around, right? So we've got power coming through here, power coming through here, power going up and over there. We actually drop it underground, right in here somewhere. We're dropping it underground to start feeding our encased chains. I might actually be doing that right over here. There might be a... No, I thought maybe there was a shaft here turning that, but I guess not. I'm not actually sure at this point where I'm feeding that from. So anyway, that's all of this. Now, to support that, to make the rose quartz, we need to pour destabilized redstone over redstone, right? So that's how you make those things. That means melting redstone. Now, I could have done this without bringing power over to this, because what I could have done is set this seared smelter up over the top of, see if I can jump over there. I could have set that right here with a, what are the, Tinker faucet. It's a faucet, right? Yes. Yeah, the seared faucet. And then just put a lever on that turned on continuously, and the lever would have poured. The lever will pour, or the faucet will pour into the spout. If it's capable of doing that. You don't have to actually have any piping. It'll just pour out of the seared smelter through the faucet directly into the spout. That would have eliminated the need for this pump, but I had to run power over here anyway for the millstone, and I didn't think about it at the time, and I was like, I'd already brought over a pump for that particular purpose, and I was like, I'll just go ahead and do it that way. Even when I realized, oh, I could have done this a different way, I was like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So obviously the seared melter needs to be fed with a heat source, right? A solid fuel heat source. We look in here, it requires solid fuel. So I set up a little tree farm. I forgot I had these over here. I was trying to convert back down and move things around. I set up a quick little tree farm back here. Now, so here's another contraption, and that contraption is dumping into here and feeding another drawer controller, which is feeding these 3. I thought I was going to need 4. I don't know why I thought I needed a 4th one here, because the 4th one is actually up there, right? This is I put 4 down here and went, well, you don't need 4 because the 4th one really belongs up there because that's the logs, right? Now, I could have skipped this whole section right here because logs technically are a solid fuel source. So I could have just brought the logs right down here and fed logs straight in here rather than feeding them into this drawer, which is then splitting them, right? We're getting logs going down and into the back to provide fuel, and then to the top to be smelted, to be turned into charcoal, which is then pulling out and coming over to this drawer. I think that is this entire automation. Now, it is not truly automated, right? It is not truly automated because at this point, I am still having to load redstone into here. Why are you stopped? You really should. Oh, you're just getting started on another run. Now, I want to check and see if there's more redstone. See, I don't see redstone laying here now. Maybe that was from when I picked up the contraption earlier. Maybe. So I picked up the contraption earlier. You'll see that our cart assembler's over here. I picked him up to eliminate, like I said, I originally had 4 deployers on here. And while it built the entire cluster, it was also wasting a bunch of redstone, right? It was deploying on that catalyst far more redstone than it actually needed. I think. So again, if efficiency seems to fall off, and it really does look to me. Matter of fact, see, no, there is a redstone right there. What is going on? I don't like that at all. Yeah, I think I'm going to put at least one of those deployers. Matter of fact, let's just do that. Bloop. Can pull him out right there. I think I still have those deployers on me. I do not, but we can bounce back over to the house real quick. They will. Oh, I've got to go kill those cows. I've got enough entities here now that the cows are starting to become a problem. Deployers. They should be right here. I do not see deployers. The other option is that they're in my toolboxes, because, you know, that would make sense. I don't see them in my toolbox either. I am sure that I'm looking smooth over them. But we can do this. Deployer. There they are. Told you I was probably looking straight over them. Bang, bang. Head back out to Skystone. Skystone right here. Put you away because I have a tendency to lose these boxes. They're so convenient that I set them down almost everywhere I go to work on anything, and then quite frequently forget to pick them back up. So, oh, my game is hitching just a little bit. So, if we let's just go up here a little bit. They actually deploy a block away. So really, we need a deployer here. And you know what? Let's just put it back the way it was. I think that is the appropriate places for all of these. And part of the reason I think that is because there's glue there already. Did I get you? No. I turned you all the way around, now facing the wrong direction. And one more, please. Okay. Let me get these set back up, and we'll take a look. And with this one placed here, that should all be good again now. Yes. All right. I think I mentioned maybe it was in our multiplayer, I actually prefer the original scaffolding. Part of the advantage of scaffolding is that you can go to the bottom and just break it and have it all come tumbling down on you so that you don't have to try to climb up and break things. The create scaffolding It doesn't do that. It doesn't have gravity, so it doesn't fall when you break it. Well, if I'm going to just put blocks in the air and pull them down, then I can use any block. It doesn't matter whether or not it is scaffolding. All right, you are locked, right? Come on. I am 99% sure. We'll just find out. How's that? All right. Everything came with, including that dirt block, maybe? Maybe there's a dirt block floating on the back of our contraption now. So we'll set him back down and find out. No. All right. But you are definitely deploying onto, or attempting to deploy onto. So let's see how much more Skystone we get if this will ever break. This is one of the slowest blocks in the game to break, it feels like. I know that there were some complaints in the forums about it. I don't know if it's going to get adjusted or not. I don't really know that it needs it. All right, now we should, yep, there's redstone floating right there. How much redstone? Can I get it? Just a single piece. I don't know why that's happening. But you'll see that we now have a lot more Skystone here. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. All right. We can just put him back in here, and we are finally getting a, it took a while, and I was a little concerned there for a while, because it took a while for all of these drawers to back stuff, right? To get backed up, so that we started actually hanging on to some of our redstone, but we are definitely starting to see an increase in our redstone. I wonder if I could do a compacting drawer here, and then pull out. That might confuse the pullers, or the pushers, rather. Yeah, I'll just leave it alone. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope that this all makes sense. And I'm going to say right off the bat, I suspect it doesn't. I still have to come over here and go, okay, exactly what did I do here? But if you have questions about something I've done here, or you are playing along in the pack and you're like, hey, I don't understand how XYZ is happening, feel free to hit me up. I spent significant amount of time looking at this and figuring out exactly what needed to be done with it. And while it may look complicated, it really is not as complicated as it looks. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really, really helps me out. You could do me that particular favor. I would appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.